He might stop you, man. I ain't gonna hold you, man.
Canelo Álvarez got one of the best chins.
Yeah, but hey, listen, he ain't been hit by Terence though. Terence can punch, man. You know what I mean? I know he's been in with some of the great punches and all that, but them punches gotta be placed right. You know what I mean? And Terence placed some punches, man.
I can totally see Crawford outboxing Canelo, like bad, making him look like taking him straight to school. But again, I do not see Crawford stopping.
The tension between Crawford and Canelo keeps rising as Crawford continues to claim that Canelo cannot compete with him. The recent talk around a bout between Terence Crawford and Canelo Álvarez has pushed the rivalry even further. Crawford has already begun a strategy aimed at shaking Canelo's connection with Mexican fans. The Nebraska fighter is respected for his careful style inside the ring, and he now applies that same mindset outside it by openly questioning Canelo's role as the leading symbol of Mexican boxing. This move echoes the mental tactics once used by Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s era, but it carries Crawford's twist.
Speed over Canelo. I got the reach over him. He might got the size, the power. I got the better skills, boxing skills.
Would it be more of a cat and mouse? The reality is Canelo does put people out. From Kirkland to Amir Khan to just...
Don't do
obviously,
I'm just saying, man.
No, but he's not.
Canelo has long been closely linked with the Mexican flag, and his pride in his roots has shaped his public image. That connection gives fans a sense of his origins and has played a major role in turning him into a global star. He openly shows this pride and often pushes back against anyone who questions his role as a Mexican boxing icon, yet Crawford appears to have spotted a weakness in what many believed was an unshakable bond. Over the years, some critics have debated Canelo's place among the greatest, arguing that while his talent is clear, his career has been carefully guided to balance success, money, and image. This is where Crawford's approach stands out because he has not only targeted Canelo's skills and record, but has also aimed at the foundation of his popularity. He has challenged Canelo's relationship with Mexican fans in a move that recalls Mayweather mental tactics against Oscar de la Hoya. Crawford even released merchandise showing himself in front of the Mexican flag with the words "Viva Mexico," which sends a pointed message questioning Canelo's role as the symbol of Mexican boxing. This strategy is meant to split fans by appealing to those who see Canelo more as a smart businessman than a fearless warrior. Despite his fame, some critics still focus on his careful choice of opponents and what they see as avoiding certain threats. These fans look back to legends like Julio Cesar Chavez, Salvador Sanchez, Ruben Olivares, and Juan Manuel Marquez, who fought anyone for pride and legacy. To them, Canelo's career, while extremely profitable, does not fully reflect the toughness and honor that defined the champions before him.
I'm going with Terence Crawford. You know, big weight jump, a dangerous fight, but somebody's got to prove to me that they can break Terence Crawford's will and that he can't figure it out against you. You know, it ain't no disrespect toward Canelo, but I've said this the last couple of years. I'm not betting against Terence Crawford against nobody right now. You got to show me that you can.
Crawford's new shirts speak directly to these fans by presenting him as a fighter willing to face any challenge, no matter the money involved. This marks a key moment before the fight where mental lines are drawn well before the opening bell. Crawford is known for constant pressure and for wearing opponents down in body and mind, and he is using that same energy to promote the fight. This strategy carries risk because it could push away the same fans he hopes to win over. At the same time, it helps frame him as the hungry outsider fighting with something to prove. This role has served him well again and again throughout his career.
I've been criticized and people have taken credit away from me just to try to diminish my accomplishments just off of pure hate. So what would they be able to say with me going up 2 weight classes? If Canelo become undisputed again and I beat Canelo, what could they say? They'll say something, but they're gonna make.
Even with all the build-up and tension, the money side of this fight stands out. Reports suggest Canelo could earn as much as $150 million, which is far more than anything Crawford has made before. That massive payday highlights just how important this matchup is for both fighters. At the same time, it adds another angle to the debate. Some critics argue that Canelo's recent performances suggest his focus has shifted toward maximizing earnings and securing his status as the top pound-for-pound boxer.
Him up, and I'm like, all right, well, Canelo 5'7", you know, my arms longer.
Yeah.
He's strong, I'm strong.
Right.
You know, it'd be, to me, skill for skill.
Right.
You know, because Canelo not the biggest 168 fighter. So
Veteran promoter Bob Arum, who is known for speaking honestly, recently said he would not pay to watch this fight because he feels Canelo lacks true passion. He explained that while the matchup itself sounds exciting and interesting, he would still choose not to spend money on it. Arum believes Canelo's recent performances show that his focus has shifted away from fighting for pride and toward operating mainly as a businessman rather than a driven competitor.
Crawford Canelo, there's a lot of talk about that.
I think Canelo wipes the floor with him. I love Crawford. I told you when Crawford and Spence that Crawford would beat the hell out of him, but Canelo is a different proposition. It's an interesting fight, but I think there's only one winner. What fight would make the most?
He wipes the floor with him.
What?
Is it because of the weight difference?
Because Canelo, Canelo.
He is not there to excite the crowd and instead focuses on collecting the biggest payout. Still, if Canelo were to fight with the same intensity that Terence is known for, the matchup could turn into something special and entertaining. This view matches the feelings of many fans who think Canelo, once a fierce and aggressive puncher, has grown into a careful planner focused on profits. Crawford, by contrast, has built a reputation as a serious and ruthless competitor who steps into the ring with bad intentions and treats every fight as a test of his legacy.
This fight, Crawford is very talented, great footwork, great combinations, and a very strong fighter. You know, he, facing him off, he's actually the taller man. So I'm leaning towards Crawford now. I switched my opinion. I think Canelo looked too slow, too flat-footed. One punch at a time. I don't think that's going to be enough for him to beat Crawford. Crawford's too fast, too strong.
Still, there is a major physical challenge in this matchup that cannot be ignored. Weight has become a big question, as many wonder whether Crawford, who spent most of his career at lighter divisions, can manage the strength and durability of a naturally bigger fighter like Canelo. This is not simply about adding size, but represents a major shift in how Crawford must prepare and fight. History shows how dangerous this jump can be, since others have paid a heavy price for it. Jermall Charlo is a clear example, as he was completely overpowered when he moved up to face Canelo, reminding everyone of the serious risks that come with stepping into higher weight classes.
I think should be gone. The notion that Terence Bud Crawford should move up 3 weight classes, 21 pounds, to fight Canelo Álvarez. He's entirely too small. Jermall Charlo.
Amir Khan, who has shared the ring with both Crawford and Canelo, offered a serious warning about the challenges ahead. He explained that moving up in weight to face someone like Canelo forces a fighter to train with much heavier partners. That kind of preparation adds heavy strain on the body over time. Khan pointed out that gaining extra pounds comes with a cost and raises the question of whether Crawford should place that level.
Canelo just outboxes him. No, doesn't outbox him, but I think just outpowers him and beats him to the punch. And you do give Canelo does have some sort of decent speed as well. So I think Canelo just wins that fight easy.
Would it be a knockout?
Could be, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say.
This is the moment where Crawford's biggest physical test comes into focus. He has already shown that he can adjust to different styles and overcome size disadvantages, but dealing with a seasoned power puncher like Canelo is a completely different challenge. Still, the difficulty of the task may be exactly what draws him in. This is a high-risk, high-reward situation that could either confirm his place among the best fighters of his era or expose the limits of his body. The potential matchup between Canelo Álvarez and Terence Crawford has sparked strong opinions across boxing, with predictions ranging from confident picks of a Canelo knockout to cautious belief in Crawford's ability.
For years, I think Bud would beat Canelo. I think Bud just got the style that outbox Canelo. I seen Canelo get outboxed several times, so I think Bud is the guy.
What did you think when everybody thought Bud was going to lose? When he fought, and everybody thought he was going to lose, and he came in pairs. Charlamagne thought he was going to lose. He came inside.
Julio Cesar Chavez, a legendary figure in Mexican boxing, spoke plainly about the fight. Known for his honesty and deep understanding of the sport, Chavez gave Crawford little chance of success. He sees the matchup as heavily one-sided, with Canelo's size and power creating a major challenge for the smaller Crawford. In a recent interview, Chavez said that while Crawford is an excellent fighter, Canelo is simply on another level. He added that Crawford is chasing the money and Canelo will likely knock him out. This strong opinion reflects the concerns of many traditional fighters about moving up in weight, especially when the smaller boxer may struggle to handle the strength and punishment.
Es una pelea muy dispareja, la verdad. Crawford es un gran peleador, pero no tiene nada que hacer en ese peso. Con todo respeto, él va por el dinero y Canelo lo va a noquear.
The two fighters are gonna be different weight classes, even though they're gonna fight on a specific weight. He believes that they're just going because of the money, Crawford, but probably Canelo is gonna.
This view is not without reason. Despite his sometimes controversial reputation, Canelo has proven to be a major force at super middleweight. He has defeated some of the hardest hitters in boxing and absorbed punches that would have seriously hurt smaller fighters. The Mexican star is known for his iron chin, punishing bodywork, and unmatched ability to close distance and control the ring. Chavez's prediction comes from the belief that no matter how skilled Crawford is, he may not have the physical strength to take on a true 168.
A lot of people that say that Crawford can beat Canelo, no problem. I mean, I respect that, but I just think they're stupid. I mean, excuse my language. The size difference of a bigger man changes everything with one punch. And I can see the same thing. I mean, you saw Canelo Álvarez fighting Amir Khan. Now, look at this. Terence Crawford.
Oscar De La Hoya, another former fighter turned promoter who knows Canelo well, also favors Álvarez in this matchup. De La Hoya, who helped bring Canelo into his Golden Boy promotional stable in 2010 and guided him to superstardom, shares concerns about the size difference despite their tense relationship in 2020. He still respects Canelo's natural physical power and sees him as a stronger, more imposing fighter. In a now-deleted interview with Fight Hype, De La Hoya said that while Crawford may have superior pure boxing skill, Canelo's size and strength will likely be too much for him in the ring.
Box, you know what I'm saying? And Terence Crawford is a legend. He's great. He's a great fighter. The only thing I see that I favor Canelo is that, you know, is his weight.
Yeah.
And that he's more bigger. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing. But as far as skill set wise, IQ, I feel like Crawford can match anybody and probably do way better. You know what I'm saying? But you know, Crawford is a legend, bro.
Yeah.
You know, and like
you have to look at the skill differences between the fighters. Crawford is clearly the more skilled boxer, and De La Hoya agrees. But Canelo has the size and the power, and as Bob Arum predicted, he will push right through Crawford. It will be a tough fight, but stylistically De La Hoya expects it to be one-sided for the first 7 rounds. After that, Canelo will begin to increase the pressure, and eventually his strength and power will become overwhelming.
A good little man has never beaten a good big man in the history of the game, unless you go back to certain situations with Pacquiao beat me, but I was a dead man walking anyway. But a good little man never beats a good big man, so it's a tough test for Crawford, but I'm not counting him out. The bottom line, this is the truth again, it's a money grab. That's it.
Eddie Hearn, a promoter known for his straightforward opinions, offered a more measured take but ultimately sided with Canelo. He highlighted the physical challenge of the fight, noting that Crawford, despite his skill, is not naturally a 168-pounder. Hearn pointed to Crawford's bout with Israil Madrimov, a smaller and less powerful fighter than Canelo, and noted that Crawford did not look dominant even at 154 pounds. Physically, Hearn said, Crawford is neither a big 154-pound light middleweight nor a full 160-pounder, and he is undersized at super middleweight. He added that Canelo's ability to absorb punishment and deliver fight-changing power shots will likely prove too much for Crawford.
How is Crawford going to be able to bridge this weight gap?
I don't think he can, in all honesty. I mean, he might not be able to bridge it on Saturday.
Yeah.
So,
one weight class.
68, yeah, but you're coming up from 35. 35, 40, 47, 54. Sooner or later, it's one too many. And 68 is definitely too many. But Crawford's brilliant. Like, he's a genius. He's a generational great. So maybe he can find a way to do it. But I feel he'd be hugely outsized against Canelo Álvarez. Yeah. But you have to use your movement.
I give Canelo the edge in the fight. Yes, I think there could be a stoppage if he gets involved, but timing will be key. Terence will be moving around, which Canelo may not like since he prefers to fight opponents who stand and trade with him. Hearn noted that this shows Crawford's physical risk, as the gap in power and durability between the two could become clear in the later rounds. Demetrius Andrade, another fighter experienced at super middleweight, also shared his thoughts on the matchup.
Canelo's a stronger guy, the bigger guy, but in the fight with a guy that moves around, and if Crawford uses his skills and his legs and his technique and just his ability, I think he can win. He can win the fight in decision as long as he doesn't get hit with those big.
Andrade, who has faced fighters of similar size to Canelo, praised Crawford's skills but remained doubtful about his chances against the Mexican star. Canelo is a strong and relentless fighter who can keep up the pace all night, Andrade told Fight Hub TV. He said that while Crawford has the talent, dealing with Canelo's power shots and movement will be very difficult. Canelo has quickness and agility that make him unpredictable, and Andrade believes that will make the fight extremely challenging for Crawford.
There's no Triple G on Bud's resume. There's no Trout on Bud's resume. There's no Daniel Jacobs on Bud's resume. Canelo is the one that's fought the elite level opposition. It's Canelo that fought Laura. There is no Laura on Bud's resume. There is no Laura on Bud's resume. Bud has never faced a multiple division champ. Bud has never faced a multiple division champ.
Yeah, but Bud is an elite boxer.
So you're an elite boxer, but you haven't fought
Andrade comments are especially interesting because they focus on a key part of the fight, handling punches from a naturally bigger opponent. Crawford has excellent reflexes and strong defensive skills, but he has never faced someone with Canelo's raw power. Many analysts are concerned about Crawford's size disadvantage and whether his technique alone will be enough to handle the sheer strength he will encounter in the ring.
Yeah, it's a great fight for boxing. I know people don't agree with it, but if Canelo fights one inkling of the wrong fight, he's gonna lose. If he comes out and fights the right fight, it's gonna be tough. So right now, I think it go be either way, but it depends on what type of fight Canelo fights.
You've been a guy that moved up in weight class. How do you think Terence Crawford should handle the weight? Should he come in lighter? Should he come right around the weight limit?
Come in as big as he can get. You get to the weight limit because there is a weight limit.
Not everyone is counting Crawford out, though. Sean Porter, who has faced Crawford before, offered a more optimistic view. Having seen Crawford's focus and determination in the ring, Porter believes the Nebraska fighter could pull off an upset. He's one of the toughest competitors I know, Porter told TalkSport. I think he can beat Canelo. The timing works for both of them. Canelo has a lot of miles on him, and by 8 or 10 rounds he could start to fade, giving Terence a chance to take the fight.
That's 2 more weight classes. Like once he gets touched by Canelo, it's going to be different.
I am concerned about him absorbing a Canelo punch, especially through the course of 12 rounds. We do know this about Canelo. He's going to slow down, so I think if anything, Canelo would try to start fast and bang on him and break him down before he gets later. And he's still got that kind of steam. But, there's so many components that make a champion. There's so many components that make a legend.
This view takes a different angle. Canelo has absorbed a lot of punishment over his long career. While he is still a powerful fighter, he has endured many brutal battles and taken heavy hits along the way. If Crawford can survive the early rounds and push Canelo into the later stages where age and fatigue might affect him, he could pull off one of the biggest upsets in modern boxing. Timothy Bradley, a former champion turned respected analyst, went further, saying that a win over Canelo would make Crawford the best fighter in the world, possibly of his generation. I don't think anyone has ever moved from 135 to 168 pounds and been the top fighter, Bradley added.
And you can see the same tendencies that Canelo has now, but he's a lot older now. But I just think that Terence has more skills than a Lara, and I think he can do more. And you're saying that, Canelo is a super strong guy. Man, technique. You already know. If you ever wrestled before, the person that got better technique usually win. It don't matter how much the weight they have or what they're carrying around. It's the technique. Crawford knows how to take care of himself on the inside. He knows how to smother. He knows how to tie up. He knows how to rough guys up. He knows how to turn guys.
If Terence Crawford beats Canelo Álvarez, it will likely come through a careful technical strategy similar to Floyd Mayweather's 2013 approach against a younger Canelo. This would involve jabbing, moving, and using the clinch to neutralize Canelo's power. However, this style could make the fight slow and less exciting for fans expecting non-stop action. Crawford, known for his precise technique, isn't the most explosive fighter and is often compared to Sugar Stevenson for his defensive skill, though slightly more aggressive. Unlike hard-hitting brawlers at 154 pounds or the top version of Errol Spence before his accident, Crawford's style doesn't always thrill the crowd. Still, his technical mastery gives his supporters confidence that he can rise to the challenge.